All right, so Anthony Essien here. So here we are, week 2. I have my stepson Kobe for the video, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the first protocol we're gonna do is we're gonna do blood pressure. And so before I can put the cuff on him, I need to find his pulse going through the brachial artery, and so we are right here. Like there it is, and so then that tells me where I'm going to put the cuff for the blood pressure cuff. So here I'm using the right arm, so we're going to go to the artery, and we're just going to put that at 1 inch above where we found the pulse. So it's important when we put the cuff on that it essentially matches the arm. We don't want it too loose. We also don't want it too tight. So then here now I'm going to put the sphygmomanometer. That's a pretty good name for that thing. So we got to attach that. So then now I'm going to go with my stethoscope. And so then I have to find that exact same spot that I found earlier with the pulse, because that's where I'm going to put the diaphragm of the stethoscope to give me the information that I need. So we have it here. I have to make sure that, a little bit tangled up here. I have to make sure that the dial is closed here. And then, for a healthy individual, we want to go anywhere between 160 and 200 as we pump this thing up. So here goes. And so then now we're releasing the air. All right, so at that point, we'll go ahead and release it all the way out. So what we had here for Kobe, right here, is we had a 122/68. So we'll go ahead and, so Anthony Essien here. So Kobe and I are back, and so then now we're gonna go to skin folds. And so we're gonna start with the chest. And so doing the chest skin fold, we have to make sure that they're relaxed. So you want to make sure that your subject's relaxed. They're not all flexing, like trying to be that guy. Like they haven't been moving around where they're sweaty or anything like that. So the first thing we're looking for is the axillary line, right? And so then we want to just go just superior and anterior to that. So that's where I'm going to put my 0. If you notice, my 0 is going to be there. And from there, we're going to go to the nipple. All right, and so then that's just over 5. And so then if you look at 2.5, it's right here. And so this is where I'm going to get my measurement. And then from there, I'm going to use my pen. I'll mark them up. So we have the mark from where we're going to take our measurement. So reach over here and grab my skin fold caliper. So then once again, remember we're going to do about a 3-inch pinch. So I'm going to go 3 inches. And so then from there, I'm going to squeeze and then I'm going to pull. We're going to squeeze and pull forward. And that's where I'm going to measure. I'm going to measure the bubble area beneath that. And what we have here with Kobe is we have a 7 millimeter. Go go ahead and release that. And thank you. So we're back, Anthony and Kobe. All right. You know, it sounds like a backcourt combination, but it's not. So we're going to move on to the abdomen with regards to the skin fold. And so what we're looking for is we want to go 2 centimeters from the umbilicus. And so that's going to tell us where we're going to put our mark. And let me grab my pen here real quick. So from the umbilicus here, we have the 2 centimeter mark. And here is my mark. Got to get through the little hairs. All right, and so then that's where we're going to be taking the skin fold measurement. So from there, once again, we want to make sure that we're not, you know, the skin fold calipers do not go in the umbilicus. So we're going to pull from just outside of the umbilicus. And we have our 3 inches. So then we're going to pull this thing, we're going to squeeze and pull forward. And we're going to measure this down here. Kobe had a good meal tonight. And we are at 11 millimeters. Thank you.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. So now we're going to do the YMCA sit and reach. And so what we're looking for here is, so we have the yardstick on the floor. And we have our tape that goes across at 15 inches. And so Kobe has his feet up to the 15-inch mark. So from there, what we're going to have him do is he's going to overlap his hands. And then as he extends forward, he's going to need to have his hands not only be together, but be touching the yardstick so we can get the proper measurement. What we're looking for here is that we're looking for that the hands be together, that the client or individual does not bounce, or, you know, when they're trying to reach a desired distance and they're able to hold it for 2 seconds. So his feet are good shoulder width apart, so he's nice and comfortable. The legs need to stay straight. We cannot have any flexion whatsoever of the knees as he moves forward. So when proctoring this exam, have the client take a big inhale, and then as they exhale, and that's when you reach forward to your desired distance. So whenever you're ready, Kobe. And we're at a 10. All right, so we're back. So, you know, we've done the chest, we've done the abdomen, and so then now we're going to do the leg, you know, or the quad. And so what we're looking for here is, so he's going to have his weight on his left leg, and so he's going to have slight flexion of his right knee by slightly lifting it off the ground. So good, just the heel. Yeah, thank you. All right, and so then the measurement that we're going for is we're going from the hip just to the top of the patella. So, and then we'll go ahead and use the inches here. And so we'll get right in there. And we have 18. So from 18, we're going to go to 9. Where that 9 mark is. So that 9 mark's going to be right there. So once again, we're going to put our mark. And then that's going to allow us to go ahead and take the measurement that we need. So once again, we go 3 inches. And so then we're going to, for the 3 inches, we're going to pull. We'll do that. We'll try that again. Can't keep my fingers in there. All right, take 3. All right, and so then the number that we have there, once again, we have an 11. Thank you. All right, so we're back. Once again, so then, you know, we've done our skin folds, and so then now we're going to move on to the waist to hip ratio. And so what we're looking for when we're measuring the waist is, you know, it's not necessarily where we wear our pants, if you will. So you're looking for the smallest circumference, if you will. So for Kobe, it will be superior to his umbilicus. And so then what we're going to do here is we're just going to take our measurement around. And so one of the easier ways to do that is just to have the client raise their arms up, and then we're just going to go around in this way. And we'll get our measurement that way. And so we're at the 0. So from the 0, then Kobe's looking at he's looking at a good 90. Right, so then from there, so then now we're going to move on. We're going to go ahead and record that 90 for the waist, and that's in centimeters. So then now we're just going to move right along into the hip. Okay, and then so for the hip, we're trying to measure. You want to look at the side, so you can just go ahead and, no, you don't have to move, just stay there. So we want to look at the side, and so then we were looking for the portion that is the biggest, if you will. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go around that. So once again, we'll be here. Let's go ahead and get in a good position there. And for Kobe, we're looking at 107 and a half. So 107.5, if you will. And so now we're going to look at elbow flexion here. So we have Kobe laying down flat. And so the first thing that we're looking for is we're looking for the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. And so then once we've located that, so then we know like that's going to be our access point for our flexion. So we have that landmark here, and so then that's where we're going to have this. And so then now this here on the goniometer it's got to line up with the humerus. All right, so we're lined up here with the humerus. We have our access point. So from here, what we're going to do is, like, Kobe's going to flex his arm, and so then that's going to give us the reading that we need, making sure that we stay at our same access point. And if we notice here, Kobe has flexion of, stay lined up. Kobe is at a 126. So he's flexed. He's at elbow flexion of 126 degrees. Thank you. What we have here, so now we're gonna talk about the hip flexibility. So we got the goniometer back out, and so for the Thomas test, I don't know if you want to call this modified or not because we're in the living room. So, but for the Thomas test, what we need to do is, so Kobe's gonna have to take both of his knees, and he's gonna have to pull them up to his chest. Okay, and so then from there, we're gonna start with the right side first, and so then we're gonna have him, release his right leg. And what we're looking for here is as long as the lumbar is still pressed against the surface here, and we're looking for if the leg can return, back to the surface. So if, while with the knee at 80 degrees, which of course it can, and so then when we do that, and we have our measurement here, as like you can imagine, since the leg is able to return, our measurement here is going to be 0. So that's for the right side, and so we're going to swing around over here. We'll see how easy it's going to be to get this recorded. So we're going to do the same thing from the left side, and looks like we have a little more tightness on the left side, and we went with the iliac spine here. And so from the left side, actually what we have is we are at the 8 degrees. Thank you. All right, so we're back. So now we're going to do the left side. So we've already done the right side with regards to elbow flexion. So then once again, we're going to locate the lateral epicondyle of the humerus as our access point. And we have that located right here. So we need to make sure this matches, the angle of the humerus. And so then from there, we're just gonna we'll have Kobe flex, and then we're gonna go with him, matching the angle. And for the left elbow flexion, we are at 130. Thank you. So we're gonna measure Kobe's knee flexibility, and so then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do the active knee test. And so what we're looking for once again is we do need an access point. So we're gonna use the lateral epicondyle of the femur, which is easily located on Kobe here. So then he has it. Let me get this in here quick. So we're going to have him pull his knee up to his chest as much as he can. And so then from there, at that point, what we're going to have him do is we're going to have him extend his leg until he gets to position of uncomfort with the hamstring. And so we're matching there. And so we have our 125 degrees. So then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna keep the video rolling, and we're gonna slide over here to the other side. So we were 125 on the left. And so then now we're gonna do the same thing with the right. So, let me get here. We find the lateral epicondyle of the femur. So we match here. So he's gonna pull his leg all the way up. And so then now we're going to extend the leg until we get to discomfort. And on the right leg, we are at 130 degrees. All right, so we're gonna measure Kobe's shoulder flexibility. And so we're just gonna do, a pretty simple test here, a back scratch test. And so he's gonna put one arm back over the top of his, the top of his back, and the other's gonna come from underneath. And so then you'll get a score of 0 if the fingers, if they touch. But since they do not touch, what you do is you measure the distance. And so we're going middle finger to middle finger. But we're just going to index. And so here we're at 5.5 for this right shoulder, 5.5 inches. So then we do the same thing with the left. Super flexible with the left shoulder. And so from the left, so with the left, we're down to 10.5. And thank you.